Everyone, I'm so sorry. But Jan and I had a great conversation, and I forgot to press record. Covered the dogs of divorce, what you need to do, the dogs in the office, the 4 things that you need to consider, which is allergies, people's fears, not wanting the dogs in the office. Maybe the dog doesn't want to be in the office. And also knowing your dog well enough so that you know when to bring them in the office. And the last piece would be making sure that you have a plan for your pet, because we've had so many times in the last week where we've seen people who either change jobs, something happened in their life, and they had to give up their pets, either a matched pair who've been together forever or a single dog. And I've posted those. Jan, I'm so glad you were here. I'm so glad we had our secret conversation. I love it. I love conversations. Um, and it's okay because no one will have to sit through a half hour of me talking. But it was really an incredibly great conversation. So you missed the good one, everyone. I appreciate that all of you missed me last Wednesday. I apologize. I was on the tarmac for 8 hours trying to get home and it just didn't work out. So here I am this week. I'm so glad that Jan joined us. Anything coming up for you? I know you have something coming up, Jan.
Well, I have a few events coming up. I've been doing LinkedIn audio events, and those have been a lot of fun for over a year, but they've kind of changed of late. And then I have a workshop coming up on August 17th, an online workshop, which should be really good.
Great. Well, send me the information so I can put it on this link on this audio so people can find you.
Oh, sure. That'd be great. Thank you. And then I just, as we were sitting here, because I love it, just call it. Coming to the meetings reminds me of updates I have to do or whatever. And one of the things I have to go in and do is as Tonka increases in age, his disposition is changing, as far as his tendencies toward, other dogs and other people. And I probably need to update some of the kind of emotional things that I'm seeing, just to whoever gets him. Hopefully they won't need to, and I'll have it forever until the time happens. But this way, at least, I start to include some of those maybe personality shifts.
Yeah, because he'll have a soft landing then, because people will be aware.
Right. I mean, he's now 12, and I noticed, big differences, now over the past year.
That means he was 8 when we started.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, I mean, I'm just noticing this year, it's like he's had a few altercations with dogs. All of a sudden, he was always so would stand his ground if needed, but he wasn't going to be the aggressor in any
right.
form.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, isn't that interesting? As it happens, you're not prepared because it seems such odd behavior, but you're like, okay. And now I'm just and then in general, I'm just cautious because I have a little boy next door who's absolutely adorable, who's 5 and came by the other day, and Tonka was eating. And I said to him, don't disturb him while he's eating. I mean, I just, I was always like that because I can take anything away from him. But I don't know what he would do if somebody else tried to take his bone or his bowl. I mean, and I don't want to chance it. So I'm just like, give him a space and let him finish. And when he's done, you can pet him.
And you know what's great about that? You're teaching that child boundaries too, because no child in my world, no child should disturb a dog while they're eating or while they're chewing on a bone, not because the dog isn't a good dog or a nice dog and will bite the child, but really when I'm eating, I don't want to be disturbed. And when you're eating, you don't want to be disturbed. So why wouldn't you set those so that the children treat the dogs with the respect that really they should? I mean, bomb-proof dogs have not been born yet. People can say their dogs are bomb-proof, but like you just said, Tonka used to be okay walking, and now he's 12 and now things have changed. You never know how that dog feels on that day. And so giving them the grace to know that they are going to be thought of thoughtfully and not be made to put up with things that really they shouldn't. I mean, as I said many times, my son Thomas used to dive on my dogs, and one of my dogs, Beaver, was older. And I said to him, I just hope that Beaver takes a 6-inch piece out of you. Now, everyone will complain that I just said that, but okay. Because Thomas wasn't, he was punished every time he dove on Beaver, and he stopped and he never did it again. He did it like twice. And Beaver was wonderful, didn't do anything. However, I was sort of hoping, sort of like when we have this little English cocker here. I just wish Junie would turn around and tell her what for, but he doesn't. And so she is totally out of control. But that's what they're supposed to do. So I'm going to let you go, Jan, because we are already at like an hour and 5 minutes, and I love it. I'm going to put this Landlord's Dilemma on renting to people. It's a great article by Ellen Jefferson, who's the DVM. She talks about the pet positive effects of allowing pets in your building, which of course, if we think about it that way, instead of the negative way, Jan and I had talked about how sometimes apartments charge $100 a month for you to have a pet. And that really is prohibitive. And yet we all know that having pets makes us happier people. So wouldn't you want happier people in your building? And until next time, kiss your dogs for me, kiss Tonka for me, Deborah Hamilton, Hamilton Law and Mediation, and of course, this wonderful MAAP community that I love so much. Take care. Take care, Jan.
Bye-bye.